Hey, it's Coach Rye from Team Flex. Today I'm going to break down for you my top 5 Bikini Olympia predictions. I'm going to go from 5th to 1st and break it all down for you. I just did this on Wellness the other day. A lot of you liked it. You're asking me over and over, where's Bikini? Where's Bikini? Who's going to win Bikini? And so I'm going to give you the video. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I want to know your predictions too. So any point in time, maybe you already know who you think is going to win. Drop your top 5 down in the comments. Let me know, or somewhere along this video if it comes up. I want to know, if you think I'm right, if you're right, what the answer is. Am I totally off base? Drop that in the comments. I want to know your predictions as well. And make sure you subscribe to this channel because we always do tons of great content for all you competitors out there who want to do your show at any level. All right, so let's talk about now the Bikini Olympia. And first things first, I think it's important to kind of hop over back to last year, last season, and kind of just review where we're at with that because, it gives us the framework kind of for where we're heading. So Bikini as a division, if you are not aware, is largely based on the hourglass type shape, okay? The judges want to see the width of the shoulders, the taper into the waist, and the development of the lower body, the glutes, the hamstrings, quads, all of this comes into play. In general, it is the softest level of conditioning as far as the hierarchy of divisions go, meaning like women's bodybuilding being at the top is the leanest, then it's women's physique, figure, wellness, and bikini are kind of together in their level conditioning, but it is the softer conditioning compared to the leaner conditioning of the higher divisions. So that's pretty much what judges look for. Olympia is this time where we get to define exactly what the judges want to see. It's a really interesting time for the next season, in other words, being is like, all right, here's what we're looking for. Here's what we want to see. This is where we want to push this division. This is the look. And that trickles down to all of you, no matter what level you're at. Even if it's your first competition, what happens at Olympia is going to somehow shape how the judges are going to score you, at novice level all the way through to nationals, pro cards, and beyond. Okay, so really important to understand exactly what the judges are looking for in this, and the Olympia really puts it down for us. Okay, so let's pop over and just look back to last year's Olympia. Get a few ideas of the bikini athletes that are kind of in the top, and some of these are going to be my top 5. Okay, so here we go. We had Dorie take first place last year. We had Lauralie in second. We had Ashley K in third. We had Maureen in fourth, and Isa Pecini in fifth. Okay, and there's obviously many other athletes that compete. Bikini's very big at Olympia. It's probably the most dominant division. Wellness may at some point overtake it for how many people are competing in it, but it is the most dominant women's division there, period. A lot of athletes. So we're going to see a lot of these familiar names there in just about tomorrow at the point. Hopefully you're watching this video by then. But, it's about time for the whole thing to kind of come down. So that's kind of what happened last year, and that was the framework, and those were the athletes they picked. And I want to get into my predictions now for you. All right, let's talk about my top 5. It's some of the same athletes, but also some big changes, some big differences. All right, so first thing I want to say is I do believe this criteria bikini division overall, some years we always talk about it looks a little softer. That's what the judges went for. They went for that softer aesthetic, kind of what I was talking about in that hierarchy of divisions. And some years that softer looks a lot leaner. It looks a bit more shreddy. It happens all the time. If you go review the past 10 years of bikini, you're going to see all different types of winners in physique, some that look softer, some that look more shredded. And it kind of just always goes with what the judges are looking for and how they're shaping the division. So that's going to be very exciting to see. I'm going to tell you this is my prediction now. We're going to see one of the more shredded Bikini Olympias we've ever seen, okay? I think we're going to see some very lean athletes with a lot of shape, but very, very lean, all right? So that's kind of what we're looking at. So let me give you my top 5 now, starting with my 5th place. She is a former Miss Olympia champion, and if you've been paying attention to the sport at all, you know who it is. It is Isa Pecini, okay? She won the Miss Olympia some years back, and she's been trying to retain this title ever since. And based on what I'm seeing, she's bringing a well-improved physique to stage. You can see a lot of these shreds I was talking about. We're seeing them here. She's definitely got those. That's definitely a factor for part of what I'm considering this. But, again, we were talking about the hourglass shape. Roundness to the shoulders, width up top, narrow at the waist, the development of the lower body, the glutes, the quads, the hamstring, it's all there. She has it. This is why she won before. She got 5th last year, and she's probably going to get around there this year. My 4th and 5th places could flip, but I think she's probably going to still be here in this 5th place spot for this season. She's done the work. She's got the physique. And again, former Miss Olympia, like many of my predictions are, it's pretty, safe to say that it's a good likelihood that some of those athletes are still going to be in the top. Let's look now over at my 4th place slot. So 4th place, this one's going to be a big difference for a lot of you out there that are watching. You're going to be like, what are you talking about, Coach Rye? I am putting current Miss Olympia champion Jennifer Dorie in 4th place. Okay, I do not believe Jen is going to come back and retain her title, and that'll make more sense probably in the end of the video when I tell you who I believe is going to be first, but I'm just not thinking right now she's coming back to retain that. Here's how she was, obviously looking last year at that point in some parts of these clips. And, here's kind of where she's at now. I mean, she's not showing a ton of physique development here, but I'm just not sure that she's pulled off to the point, so many improvements that she's going to come back and retain that title. And again, when we're talking about top 5, everybody, I should say, it is very, very down to the most minuscule, minute of things that can change placings at this level, because athletes always show up so much improved, so much better. So she's definitely made improvements. She's definitely got a better physique than last year. But is it going to be enough to top some other athletes that are in my top 5? That is yet to be seen. Okay, so I'm putting her in 4th. I think that's where she's going to land. I could be entirely wrong. She might get, her whole second Olympia here. But I would say, honestly, she's going to fall in placings this year. That would be my prediction. And if you think that I'm wrong, you think Jen's going to take it, drop that in the comments. Let me know. I want to know what you think, okay? Let's talk about 3rd place now. 3rd place is a pretty exciting placing for this athlete, because she has been consistently in the top of many, many parts of the bikini division for a long time, and that is going to be Ashley Kaltwasser, okay? She's a big favorite. She has been Miss Olympia several times. She's been doing this a long time. She wins a lot of pro shows, and, she's pretty much always improving her physique, okay? So from what I've seen from her, she's got the changes that have been made, to really apply that. Some of her feedback last year, she was in the top last year, and she's going to be in it this year, I would say, okay? From what I've seen, definitely improved. A lot more glute development, a lot more overall just aesthetic, this hourglass shape, all the framework they want to see. And again, right, she's consistently been in the top of this division for a while. So I think that that's where we would land her here. I would say, she's going to come home with that 3rd place for sure. So that's going to be my 3rd place prediction. Let's talk a little bit about 2nd. Okay, this is where things get a little more exciting. 2nd place, Olympia. We're moving into the top 2. This is a big thing here. Okay, Bikini Olympia. I'm going to say, now, this gets interesting. This gets really interesting. Lauralie, okay? Lauralie, she's been in the top 5 for a while. She was 2nd last year. Made a ton of improvements, okay? Like, she's definitely improved a lot, but I think in some ways she's pushing her physique kind of in the wrong direction in some of these things. Again, not a lot of, posing updates or things like that, but she's very lean, very whatever. She very well could, though, if the judges are liking the changes she's made and they're liking the way her physique is looking, she very, very well could actually win the Olympia. So my top 2, it's going to be a toss-up, okay? I'm going to tell you straight up. I'll still tell you who I think is going to take first in a second. But, it's going to be a crazy Olympia this year. Let's just say that. And not just for bikini, by the way. If you didn't watch my wellness video, go watch that. And also pay attention to all the men's divisions. There's great channels out there doing that, like Nick's Strength and Power. They're doing great stuff on all the men's divisions. This is going to be a very crazy Olympia this year. A lot of big changes, a lot of things going on. I think it's going to be one of the best Olympias we've ever seen, just based on, what I've seen the athlete quality becoming. Quality of athletes is getting so high, it's getting pretty crazy. But anyway, I would put Lauralie, into this spot where she's in 2nd. She could easily pull off, a 1st place. She could be the new Miss Olympia. All right. And with that, let me tell you, I want to talk about the champion, okay, who I believe will be the next Bikini Olympia champion. And she's a former. It's going to be Janet, all right, Janet Layug. She was the former Miss Olympia champion. She did not come back to retain her title, but it was simply because she stopped competing, okay? So this is from 2020, this is from 3 days out, but I'm saying 2020, she was the Olympia Bikini champion, and she just posted this. This is looking very, very much like exactly what judges want to see in bikini, in my opinion, okay? So we're seeing the fullness to the shoulder, the taper at the waist, the right level conditioning, development of the glute, everything. I mean, it's there. It's there. And we're not seeing a ton of updates. And again, look at, I mean, you're seeing some of these things very, very shredded. Like I was saying, this is going to be a shredded bikini this year, very lean. Every single athlete in my top 5 is very, very lean. Let's just get that clear, for this kind of standard of bikini. So we will see how that shapes out. I would put her there again. The former champion. I think she will take it again as her return. She did not compete, as I mentioned before, and she could come back and win. But again, like with her and Janet, it's going to be a toss-up. I mean, with Janet and Lauralie, it's going to be a toss-up in my opinion, because basically, Lauralie is also the only one who has not been Miss Bikini Olympia. So, if that drive and that hunger and that push for that goal is really driving her more, I think she could pull that off and she could win. But I would say I think Janet comes back and she picks her title back up in a way of kind of retaining it from the fact that she quit competing. And, she did not get back on stage for that Olympia that year. So it's going to be a very, very exciting, interesting Olympia. I know that there's probably a lot of you out there watching. They're like, what? You forgot my favorite athletes. Where are they? Why aren't they in top? Comment those. Tell me your opinion. Tell me who you think's going to win. I want to know. And remember, we got to be tuning into this thing. It's going to be very exciting. This is where you see how the whole division shapes out. I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again. This is where the judges say, this is what we want to see in bikini for the rest of the year, pretty much, right? Until the next Olympia, where criteria can shift and things like that. And like I said, judges can shift it either way. They can pick softer athletes. They can pick athletes with a certain amount of musculature versus others. They can pick more conditioned, more shredded. They can pick whatever they want. And that is what basically will dictate your focus as a competitor going into it. When you see who's winning these things, getting these top 5s, that's a really clear message from the judges saying, hey, this is what we want in this division. You got to look like this on pretty much any level. So make sure that you're applying those things and getting yourself in gear for those, to make sure your season's successful. So definitely very valuable for anybody out there. I know a lot of coaches watch my channel. Make sure you're watching the Olympia. I know tons and tons of athletes are watching my channel. Make sure you're watching the Olympia, and we'll do follow-up content on this. I'll do a review, kind of talk about what the judges shifted, what they looked at, and my top 5. I would bet there's not many people putting the top 5 in the order I did. And that's because I like to be a little wild with it. But the thing is, I think that this is an entirely possible lineup. Athlete placings, again, they can come down to the smallest thing. Like I remember I talked to Sandy about this, and she said that, at the Olympia and big pro shows, it comes down to like even how someone has curled their hair, or how, a certain earring is fitting this way or that way, because all the things with the physiques are so far beyond. They're already so developed, so advanced, so in that level that everybody's a high quality athlete. There's no way that, you can just do it on that alone. And so it's going to be definitely an interesting Olympia. I'm very excited for it. I hope you're tuning in, and I hope you're liking my channel. If you are, please give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up. It helps me out. I'm really trying to grow this channel a lot more in this next year here, and I'll keep that content coming for you. All right. Thanks for watching. Coach Rye is out.